So I'm doing a little cleanup on my these locking nuts. Kind of rusty. This one, I have several of them, so got some time to kill before I get my sealants and stuff that I ordered online. So let's do a little cleanup. This is just a wire brush. It's brass, and so you can polish this without scratching the it's getting there. Looks a lot better. I had this set on higher speed. I was doing some drum sanding earlier with some wood, and I had this thing on, and it's spinning a little too fast for my comfort. It looks like you can do a max 4,500, and it wasn't spinning that fast, but I turned it down to about 700, and it does a great job. Yeah, what scared me about the speed on this thing when I had it at higher RPM, this chuck is just pressed in there. There's nothing other than friction. And typically if you're drilling stuff, it's never going to come out. But I've had it while it's sitting there spinning with a drum sander. I had the thing fall out. It's a little, when you're sanding something, that's not a big deal. But when you've got a metal wheel spinning at 2,000 RPM, you know, that could stick in your fingers, or it could stick in your stomach or something. So I thought, well, let's turn that thing down to a more reasonable speed, 700 RPM, and if it bumps up me now, it falls down, I don't think it'll do too much damage. Looks so much nicer. Just polish it up. No one will ever see it, but keep the rust off. You can keep it from seizing up down the road someday. Some of you might be thinking, well, why don't you just wear gloves to protect your hands just in case this thing bumps off? My shop teacher from high school, Don Tonelli, said never wear gloves. Don't have loose fitting. You shouldn't have rings and watches either. Especially when you're running your hands by a table saw, something like that, and thing can catch you and move you into the blade. But if you have gloves on and you're getting close to something that's spinning and there's some frayed material and that happens to grab that material can spin around that piece of machinery and draw your hand right in. So yeah, gloves might protect you in one sense, but it's saving you it's much more dangerous to have them on spinning equipment. miss my shop teacher too. Don, if you're still out there, send me an email, send me a text. My favorite teacher. Favorite coach too. Speaking of my shop teacher, I have some good stories, a few good stories that I would like to relate, but it would work better if I were working on a woodworking project on the table saw. First day of school, first day of class, Don was showing the class how dangerous a table saw can be. And I was his student teacher later on, I think when I was a junior or senior, and same thing, he taught every class how dangerous a tool could be if you're not using it correctly. And the examples he set were amazing. The guy was tough, and he took a board to the stomach once. It was unbelievable, and I saw him do it once. He didn't do it the second time in the second class, but yeah, shop tools can be powerful. Someday when we do a woodworking project, I'll show you what he was doing. Just looks beautiful. Just a little bit of wire brushing and the thing looks like almost new.